And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the University of Maryland College Park. This is the Maryland Softball Stadium, and we are here for the 2A MPSSAA Maryland State Softball Championship. My name is Michael Betteridge. I'll be doing your play-by-play, joined here in the stadium right there in front of the Middletown faithful with color analyst Ben Spector. Ben, how's it look out there? What's the crowd look like?
We have a good crowd today. People are starting to file in here at Maryland Softball Stadium in College Park, and it's a great day for softball. Both teams, as they say, the old cliche, it's for all the marbles. Two teams going after a state championship, and I'm looking forward to this one.
Absolutely. We want to thank our game sponsors for making this game possible. Anytime Fitness of Thurmont, Bollinger's Restaurant, Furnace Bar and Grill, Littlemore Real Estate, Living Word Academy, Mountain Gate Restaurant, and last but not least, Roddy Creek Automotive. Thanks for sponsoring today's Maryland State Softball Final. The Easton High School team will be leading off at bat, coached by Jen Powell, 18-3 record overall, ranked 18th in the state of Maryland. The Lady Warriors, Ben, the number 2 seed section in the Section 2 2A East. They have beaten all the other playoff teams 25-1.
And that has to be concerning for Middletown, just from a standpoint where they didn't give up a run until the state semifinal. So not only can this Easton team, they can hit, they can pitch, they can pretty much do everything. But for Middletown, they knew this coming in. They know the task that they face. So I think they're ready for it.
On paper, this looks like a pitcher's duel mostly. Charlie Toms brings his team in, the Middletown Lady Knights, with a 20-1 record, one lone defeat this year to Linganore back in mid-April, ranked 6th in the state of Maryland. The Knights, of course, with their pitcher, Sammy Main, number 1 in Frederick County pitching with a 1.56 ERA and 187 strikeouts on the year, Ben.
And that's the big thing for Sammy. She's a strikeout pitcher by trade. Yes, you'll see some ground balls hit against her. Yes, you'll see some fly balls hit against her. But she feeds on the strikeout, and that's what Middletown's hoping to play into today when they face Easton. And from what we've seen, her pitching down the bullpen, she was popping it, so there's no reason that shouldn't carry over.
All right, it's an electric crowd here, a beautiful day, blue skies, sunny blue skies, light breeze blowing left to right across the stadium, and we are minutes away from the beginning of this Maryland State Championship. First time for Middletown since 1997, so this is a really big day for Middletown Knights fans in Frederick County. We'll step aside for our first commercial break, and we'll be right back after this important message.
Who do I play high school softball for? I play for my mom and dad who've never missed a game. I play for the smell of my leather glove, the sound of infield chatter, and that incredible feel of the ball jumping off my bat. I play for Sacrifice Bunts and Sacrifice Flies because they've taught me what it means to be a teammate.
Whether they're playing for their teammates, their classmates, or their community, high school student athletes in Maryland learn important lessons they'll use for the rest of their lives, like respect for the rules, time management skills, and the value of hard work and sacrifice.
I play high school softball for my friends who decorate my locker before every big game. That's who I play for. Play for keeps. Play for fun. Play on.
This message presented by the Maryland Public Secondary Schools Athletic Association and the Maryland State Athletic Directors Association.
It's time to take a serious look at Star Motorcycle, the coolest name in cruisers. Because right now at Fredericktown Yamaha, you'll get 3.99% financing for 36 months on any Star motorcycle. Like the all-new, rake-out, fist-in-the-wind Striker, or the totally customized, totally powerful Raider. Or let the sporty, value-packed V-Star 950 prove just how far your money can go. At Star Motorcycles, we build it, you make it your own. And with 3.99% financing for 3 years at Fredericktown Yamaha, making one your own has never been easier. Located at 5800 Urbana Pike, Frederick, Maryland, visit FredericktownYamaha.com.
Finance offer subject to credit approval applies to purchase of New Star motorcycles made on a Yamaha installment financing loan account from now until September 30th. Minimum contract length 24 months, maximum 36 months, minimum amount finance $5,000. See dealers for details.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Maryland Softball Stadium. I love that sign out there in center field. It says, "Fear the Turtle."
I would say here in Maryland, Terp Country, that's a good sight for a lot of Middletown people here and a lot of Easton people.
And speaking of which, Sammy Main and Megan Brown are going to attend the University of Maryland after they graduate next week.
Yeah, and truthfully, I wouldn't be surprised if in the spring or next spring you see Sammy Main try and walk on here at Maryland. She's been the real deal for Middletown, and she's definitely good enough to at least go out there. From what I have heard talking to her, she didn't really, get the interest on a scholarship basis, but she's going there, and I definitely think she'll at least try and walk on because, she's earned it.
Absolutely. Well, I was able to catch up with Coach Toms earlier in the week, and I want to go ahead and play a quick interview with him. Coach Charlie Toms giving his thoughts on today's game from earlier in the week.
16-0, pitched a couple of no-hitters in the playoffs. Got a good bat, too. Two out of four in the last game they played. Looks like it might shape up to be a pitcher's duel.
Very possible.
So, what do you think, what do you tell the girls as you prepare for a game like this? Has Middletown ever been in a state championship 2A final?
Yes.
When was that?
1997.
97? So it's...
Don't sell so shocked.
Way beyond these girls' corporate memory, huh?
Yeah, most of these guys were born 1997 or later.
Right, exactly my point. Wait a minute, didn't I hear something about your daughter pitched in one of those games? Is that true?
Yes. 1997.
She pitched in that 97 game?
Yes.
Okay, so you and I are about the same age. My daughter graduated in the 90s, too, so that keeps us honest, doesn't it?
We're both young men.
Yes, sir. So, what do you tell them to prepare them for a game like this? The crowd, the hype, the noise, all that.
I don't think, honestly, any of us really hear the crowd. The excitement of getting here is what we've been working for the last 4 years. These guys have heard me talk about the big picture for the last several years. This has been the game we've been trying to get to. So I don't really think nerves and such are going to be much of an issue.
Okay, good.
At least I hope I'm right.
Well, how do you prepare them then, from a coaching standpoint? How do you prepare them to get ready?
We don't do anything different than we did game one of the season. We do what we do.
Just another game.
Just another game. We play our game.
Any talk about how cool it is for Sammy Main and for Megan Brown to be playing at University of Maryland when they plan to attend?
We haven't actually talked about that at all. But it is kind of cool.
I think the coolest thing about that was they don't know necessarily that they'll play softball for Maryland, but this may be their first softball game at Maryland.
It may very well be. And hopefully you never know where they'll end up in the next few years.
Are you visiting or home team? Do you know yet?
We are home.
You're the home team, so you're going to have the final bat.
Yes.
Okay, good. Well, Coach, I want to wish you the best and best of luck to you, and we'll see you out there at the field this Saturday.
Very good. We'll see you there.
Thank you.
Thanks.
His take on how the girls prepared for this game. Ben, what'd you think about that? Any surprises there?
He seemed calm, compared to, for a coach who's going into a state final, the first state final for Middletown since 97. He seemed pretty calm and relaxed, and as a coach, that's a good trait to have because we can guarantee, I'm pretty sure everyone in the stadium knows that this is not going to be a calm game. You can already feel the intensity level piling over in the stands. So
yeah, that's a great point. You think that, well, it's just another game and it could be nerves and that sort of thing, but it could be more. All right, we'll step aside for our last break before the opening pitch. We'll be right back after this message.
Do you remember hearing about an incredible event at the Frederick Fairgrounds over the past several summers? There were free groceries and haircuts and shoes and music and fun, and well, anyone was welcome. That was Convoy of Hope. And now that the seeds were planted, Convoy of Hope has become Planting Hope 2015. On Saturday, May the 30th, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Frederick Fairgrounds, thousands of volunteers, friends, and neighbors will come together in a simple act of love and community to give you a helping hand. The event is free, and all that we need is you. Come on down to the fairgrounds, bring your family, tell all your friends, and find out what is so special about this home we call Frederick. Free groceries, haircuts, family photo portraits, medical and dental checkups, breast cancer screenings, shoes, free lunch, and more. That's Planting Hope 2015, Saturday, May the 30th. Doors open at 10 a.m. We hope to see you there.
I just wanna be okay today.
Hello, my name is William Warren, owner of Emmanuel Technology Consulting. In this rapidly changing world of technology, the last thing you want to do is search for help for all the technology in your life from several different companies. Emmanuel Technology Consulting is experienced in multiple platforms, including smartphones, iPads, Android tablets, and gaming consoles, just to name a few. Data security is a huge issue these days, and you need to protect your data from malware, software corruption, or hardware failure. Emmanuel Technology Consulting is not just about prevention or about proactive intervention when it comes to your important information. When you have a problem, you don't have to wait for a phone call back. We will respond quickly to you, and we are experts at remote diagnostics, so you will have a quick solution. That's Emmanuel Technology Consulting. Call us today at 301-524-5271 or check us out online at etc-md.com. Emmanuel Technology Consulting, helping you design your digital life.
Hey, all you sports fans, I want to tell you about an exciting new restaurant, the Furnace Bar and Grill, located on Catoctin Furnace Road, south of Thurmont, near the zoo. You have got to stop by and check out their food. It is unbelievable. Their hand-tossed pizzas and furnace sandwiches are smoking hot. The Furnace Bar and Grill features flathead barbecue chicken, a furnace dog that puts a whole new meaning in the phrase hot dog, and a crab ball and cheese salad that makes Maryland proud. That's the Furnace Bar and Grill, nonstop music, sports, TVs, karaoke, and more. The new fun place in Thurmont where everybody is going. Take the whole family.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here at the Maryland Softball Stadium on a beautiful May afternoon for the 2A Maryland MBSSAA State Softball Championship between the Middletown Lady Knights and the Easton Lady Warriors. Easton, of course, just across the Bay Bridge there over on the eastern shore of Maryland. A powerhouse team, Easton is. They have been here every year consecutively. Last year, they were in the final, and I believe they lost last year, Ben?
They did. They lost to Eastern Technical 3-1, but Easton's a program. They've won a state championship 7 of the past 15 years.
Wow.
And in 12 of the past 16 years, they've made it to either the state finals or the state semifinals. So it's an interesting juxtaposition between an Easton program, who, as you said, is a powerhouse, and a Middletown program, who are relative newcomers on the state stage. They went to a state final in 1997. They made it to a state semifinal in 2005.
Yeah.
But past that, they are the new kids on the block, and they're hoping to, show the old folks of Easton that they're here and they're here to stay.
And what's interesting about this from an announcer standpoint is both of these teams have the exact same colors.
Yeah, it's going to be an eye test for us. I don't know if there's just a general uniform pamphlet that's circulated around the athletic directors in the state, but both teams have a black shirt with the orange numbers and the orange lettering and black pants. So it's going to be an eye test for me and you.
Yeah, I noticed Middletown is sleeveless, so that's going to help us a little bit.
Just a little bit. No,
right. But but black jersey, black pants, orange lettering with white piping. It's going to be interesting, especially when they start to mix it up out on the field. We'll try to keep it separate for you. But anyway, just kind of a fun thing about doing this, and you never know what you're going to come up against when you come to a state championship. You start to see teams from all over the state of Maryland.
And that's the thing. I mean, I'm sure the coaching staff for Middletown and the coaching staff for Easton has done their research. But, you know, from a player's perspective, it's a kind of learn and feel sort of type environment, you know.
Yeah.
It's different from playing the Linganores and the Catochtons. And you've seen, you know, players like Maddie Ambush before over the course of the past 4 years. You know, this is the first time these two teams have met ever. So it's not just a feeling out sort of process like you have at the start of the season. You're trying to figure out what the other team is during a state championship game.
Yeah, you don't really have any scouting on them at all, and you haven't had any experience playing them. So it's not like the quarterfinals or the section semifinals where you're usually playing someone that you've played early in the season. All right, both teams are in front of their dugouts getting their final instructions. They are huddled up. The umpires are on the field. Today's umpires, we want to give them some creds. The umpire at the plate today is Lynn Kraling. First base umpire Jim Chen. And third base umpire Jonathan Johnson. And Middletown takes the field first. Pitcher Sammy Main on the mound warming up with a high-velocity fastball right off the bat.
I say, and we're sure she's not pumped up at all, as you can tell from how she's warmed up on the mound. We've both watched her a couple of times, and for me, this is the fastest I've seen her throw since the start of the season. So that's a good sign for Middletown. You know, this Easton team, they aren't necessarily an offensive team, but they can hit the ball if need be. So this is going to be interesting, you know. There's a lot of pressure on both teams, obviously, because it's a state championship game. But Middletown, in a school year, hasn't not won a state championship in almost 6 years.
Yeah,
so
good point.
This would be the first state championship, so there's pressure in that regard. You probably have 200 people from Middletown, so there's pressure there. It's going to be a fun one.
All right, here we go. Leadoff batter for the Easton Lady Warriors, Sydney Chase, the center fielder, number 12. Batting left-handed. Strike one called.
And for Middletown, that's how you want it to start off. Sydney Chase, you know, leadoff hitter. She's going to try to get on base, and Sammy's just putting it in there to start off with.
Swing. She tipped it a little bit on a drag, kind of a drag bunt there as she took off down the line, but the count goes to 0-2.
And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a lot of that today. Easton is a very knowledgeable coaching staff, and they will try to slap the ball around.
Strike three. High fives all the way around. Sammy Main is pumped.
And that was a fantastic batter to start off with. Strike one, you get ahead of the batter, and then two swinging strikes. And those pitches weren't necessarily in the zone, but you're going to let Easton make their own trouble.
That brings Cameron Foster, the right fielder, to the plate, batting right-handed. Swing and a miss to Foster.
And Maine is pumping it right now. Everyone in the stadium knows Maine has one goal and one goal only, and that's to throw it by Easton. She is ripping it into the mitt, and that's what Middletown needs to start off with.
Check swing high. And they go down the line, and the umpire says, nope. She didn't break the wrist, so ball one, evens the count at one apiece to Foster. She steps in. Chop foul down the first base line.
And for Middletown, you know, in warm-ups, Easton looked like not the better team, but they were definitely crisp and focused.
Yeah.
So this is refreshing for Middletown because they weren't shaky during warm-ups, but it definitely looked like they were needing some confidence. And right here...
they did look a little nervous in the warm-ups, I think. Swing and a miss. Struck her out. Two batters in a row for Sammy Main, and that is the way you want to. That's the way you dream about it the night before you go to bed.
I was going to say, Main is definitely feeling it right now. There's no doubt about it. She's going in here, and she said, I'll take this. Let me do the work.
Here comes pitcher Savannah Miles. Savannah, one of the best pitchers in the state of Maryland. And she's also a pretty darn good batter, too.
And like Maine does it all for Middletown, Miles does it all for Easton. We'll see more of her when Middletown gets up to bat. But on the mound, she's a tough one to crack.
She's got a pretty little glittery bow in her hair. That being Miles, the pitcher for Easton.
That could blind us up here. I mean, if the sun's hitting it, and it's like a death ray almost.
It's pretty glittery. One hopper to second base. She gloves it, throw to first. And so at the end of one half of an inning, to a standing applause, and the crowd is on their feet. 3 up and 3 down. And Middletown will come to bat after this commercial break.
Baseball season is here, and you can see the keys all season long by purchasing a reserved seat flex pack. All flex packs come with 10 reserved undated tickets for just $90, as well as a choice of a Zach Britton or Kevin Gausman bobblehead.
Parker Bridwell has not allowed any hits through the course of 8 innings.
So come see the Keys all season long on your schedule. For information on Keys ticket plans, contact the Keys at 301-815-9900. Frederick Keys Baseball. Shake your keys.
We're all busy with plenty of commitments. That's why Anytime Fitness is the perfect way to stay in shape. From either home or work, Anytime Fitness at Thurmont is always close by, and they're open 24/7. They can tailor a personalized training program to fit your workout needs. Anytime Fitness can also fashion a membership and payment plan that will be flexible enough for your on-the-go lifestyle. You'll love the 24-hour co-ed fitness center with state-of-the-art equipment designed to sculpt and tone you into shape. And when you're away from the Thurmont area, your membership guarantees you access to any of the over 1,000 clubs worldwide. Visit us at 130 Frederick Road to start your program today. Now you can stay healthy anytime with Anytime Fitness.
All right, welcome here at the Maryland Softball Stadium. We are a half an inning in the books. 3 up and 3 down. Middletown, 2 strikeouts, and then a ground out to second to end the inning. And that'll bring Kayla Pratt, the catcher, to the bat. Kayla had a very good game several days ago against Parkside. Kayla with the best bat on the field was 4 for 5. I'm sorry, against Patuxent. And 4 for 5 in that game, Ben.
And the thing with Pratt was during the Patuxent game, she wasn't only hitting the ball, she was squaring it up, putting it in play, and pretty much hitting everything on the line. And if you're Middletown, after a great top of the first from Maine, I mean, Maine came out fired up. And we're going to have a delay here. The umpires are getting together, and I'm wondering if it's something with the lineup cards.
Well, they're huddled on the first base line, the 3 umpires, and they are exchanging cards. So they look at the rosin bag for Miles. That's what it was. They were examining Miles' rosin bag.
And that's something, because I don't think I've ever seen a pitcher bring their own rosin bag to a game.
Right. So Miles is ready. She winds up and delivers a fastball just a little bit inside. Ball 1. Pratt with that. She whips that bat onto the plate and then steps in. Fastball right up the middle. Called strike. 1-1. Miles, our first look at her. She throws a little bit like Sammy Main, doesn't she?
Yes, she does. Her and Main are very similar pitchers in the whole motion to the plate.
High fastball gets away from her a bit. 2-1 the count.
One thing we have seen, though, Maine, the speed-wise, velocity compared to Miles, Miles is a little bit slower.
This one low and inside. Pratt out in front now, steps out and looks at Coach Toms, gets the signal. 3-1 count to Pratt, and Kayla steps in. She's ready. Here we go. Wind up and delivery. It's a roller inside, so right off, the difference between the 2 pitchers, one gets a strike on the leadoff batter and the other one gets a base on balls.
And if you're Middletown, again, this is going really well for you so far. You had a good top of the first. Maine looked really good. And now you have your leadoff runner on, and leadoff walks will kill teams.
There's a bunt. It pops up. She drops it on the ground. The runner throw to first, not in time, and both runners are safe. And that's going to be an error. The bunt popped up in the air, landed right in the first baseman's glove and popped out, hit the ground. She barehanded it, threw it to first, but not in time. The runner headed to second had started to come back thinking it was going to be an out, and she was in trouble, had to run hard to get down to second base. But both runners are safe, so we have no outs. Now we have a question from the coach has come out to talk to the plate umpire about that last play.
And I would wonder if they're asking whether McLean caused interference on that one, because the first baseman went in to catch it right as McLean headed down to first base.
So Sammy Main batting .500 on the year with 28 ribbies. She lays down a bunt at one, hops, and an error again to the first baseman to load the bases for Middletown. She one-hopped it. It popped out of her glove, just way too aggressive. If she'd have been patient and waited for the ball to settle down, she'd have had it. And that's going to bring, of all people, Megan Brown, their third base power hitter, their cleanup hitter to the plate. No outs, bases loaded. She takes a strike right across the knees for the first pitch.
From Easton's perspective, they just need to relax. They're pressing a little bit too much, and it's causing them mistakes.
Now we've got a timeout as the plate umpire walks over to the Middletown dugout, and she points to her wrist.
Brown may have had a wristband on, and that's one of those rules that everybody knows, but it's kind of like not enforced, I guess you want to say.
All right. Bases loaded, no outs, bottom of the first. Fouled back to the screen and out of play. The count moves to 0-2 to Brown. So Miles out in front of this batter.
And that's good because Middletown's been going after her aggressive early, and we really haven't got a chance to see how she is late in counts.
Changeup, she goes after it, swings and misses, so she struck her out. That changeup didn't even make it to the plate, then it one-hopped.
That was one of the nastiest changeups we've seen in a while. It looked like a fastball coming out of her hand, and before you could blink, it dropped.
Called strike one to the next batter, Emma Watt.
For Middletown now, they have one out on them. They had the bases loaded with no outs, and this would be a momentum swing if they could not get in any runs.
Strike two called to Emma Watt. Bases loaded. 2 outs, bottom of the first. Excuse me, 1 out. Swing and a miss, and she struck her out. So back-to-back strikeouts for Savannah Miles to get, she's working her way out of that jam, the bases loaded jam. That's going to bring Shannon Harmon, the hero of the Liberty game, batting left-handed. She steps into the plate, takes a called strike right across the plate.
And Harmon just has to look to put this ball in play. Again, it's early in the game. Don't try to do too much with it.
Swing and a miss. 0-2 now to Harmon. She takes a couple of practice cuts.
And now we see why Miles and Main are so talked up.
Called strike 3, got her looking. So Savannah Miles pitches her way out of a huge jam, bases loaded, no outs, and she pitches for 3 consecutive strikeouts in a row to end the inning. I think that is what we call a pitcher's duel right there.
Absolutely.
But the good news for that inning for Middletown is they are technically doing all the things you have to do to put runners on the base and give you an opportunity to score. We'll step aside for a break and be right back after this message.
Would you trust your electrician to fix your plumbing or your bricklayer to replace a window? Then why would you expect a department or box store to help you make decisions about your carpeting or flooring? Peterson Carpet and Flooring's experienced team takes pride in their ability to listen and understand your needs. We can integrate those needs into the latest flooring technology to give you a unique and innovative solution that's exactly right for you. Conveniently located right on the Golden Mile, come on in today.
Peterson's Carpet and Flooring will find a way to help.
That's right. Go down and tell Gail Peterson you heard about it right here on AM 1450. That's Peterson's Carpet and Flooring on the Golden Mile in Frederick, Maryland. The best flooring solutions in all of Frederick County. Go check them out today. So, Ben, what are these Coach Toms? What do you think he's going to say to the Lady Knights as they hit the field?
If you're Coach Toms, you're happy and concerned at the same time. Because you're happy because you can see that your offense, or at least the top of it, can kind of break through and put stress on Miles. But you don't like having the bases loaded with no outs and leaving all three runners on base. So for Middletown, it's early in the game. It's a tie game. You're at the state championship game. Both teams, you'll see them kind of loosen up as the game goes along, and that'll be the real test.
That'll bring shortstop Montana Dye to the plate, batting right-handed, the leadoff batter here. No score in the top of the second. She fouls one back to the screen.
The real question for Maine as the game goes on is, can she keep up the velocity she had in the first inning? Because the way she was pitching in the first inning, that will give any team in the state headaches.
High fastball, ball one. 1-1 the count to Dye. Maine taking her time. Wind up in delivery. Chop foul right into the crowd, past the dugout, down third base. Kind of handcuffed her a little bit there on the inside of the bat.
And that's another thing you want to see from Maine is she changing speeds? Is she changing locations, changing the eye level of a hitter? Because, again, that's what's going to make her successful. That's what we saw her pitch against Patuxent. So can she do those little things?
Top of the second, no score. 1-2 the count to the leadoff batter for the Lady Warriors, Dye, and she throws a changeup one hopper to the plate to even the count at 2 apiece. Dye wipes that bat off, steps into the box, and she's ready. Straightaway stance. Infield playing medium. Outfield playing medium as well, straight away. High, she went after a high fastball and broke her wrist, tried to check the bat, but she came all the way around. So Sammy gets her third K on the day.
And that's what Maine's been doing. 2 of her 3 strikeouts have come on fastballs high that she fooled hitters on and got them to go after.
So that'll bring Caitlin Miles, the third baseman for the Warriors, to the plate. Caitlin takes a ball high. The first pitch from Maine. Fastball low and inside. Ball 2. 2-0 now. Pitcher to pitcher. I'm sorry, no. Savannah's third. So it must be her sister, Caitlin Miles.
Yeah, the tale of 2 miles, I guess.
Yeah, very good. She one-hops it inside. 3-0 now to Caitlin Miles.
And if I'm Middletown, I'm okay with seeing Maine not have the precision she had in the first inning because that first inning was spectacular. That's not going to happen every plate appearance.
Mm-hmm. Swing and a miss. So what's interesting about that is they turned her loose on 3-0.
Yeah, I don't know if that's just a missed sign on Miles' part or if that's a designed, the plan of the Easton
I think
staff,
he turned her loose myself.
Turning someone loose on 3-0 is risky, though, because if it's a pop-up,
There's a pop-up, and it's into the gap. It's going to drop for 1, maybe 2. Here comes the throw to second, and they... Safe at second. She slid under the tag. So a base hit double for Caitlin Miles as she rips one into the right center gap.
And there was a little fumble in the outfield. Arnie and Hockenberry in center, Arnie and Wright got to it about the same time, and it just tripped over someone's glove out there, and that gave Miles enough room to get to second.
So that puts the go-ahead run on second at the plate. And Slottenhop, the first baseman, for the Warriors, batting right-handed.
And this is the test for Middletown, because now you have a runner in scoring position. Easton would like to get runs out of this, so.
One out. Top of the second, called strike. 1-1 the count. Slotinoff. Annie is the 6th batter in the rotation for the Lady Warriors. Fouls one away, back over the press box and into the concession stand.
And if you're Middletown, this is the part of the order you want to get through. You know, Sammy did really well against the top 3 in Easton's order, but now it's 6, 7, 8. You've gotten one out. You'd like to finish off the bottom of the order and just kind of set the pace for the bottom of the second inning.
High fastball evens it up at 2 apiece. One out. Top of the second, no score. Runner on second for the Warriors. The batter has a count of 2-2. Sammy Main toes the rubber, looks in, takes the sign, and delivers. Chop foul away and into the net screen.
And for Middletown right now, the biggest thing is Maine threw 10 pitches that first inning. And normally you'd be concerned, but let's face it, this is a state championship game, and especially in softball, there are no pitch limits. Maine's going to go out there. She's going to throw until Easton hits her or until the game's over.
Yes. Well, it's the last time she'll play in her career.
Yeah.
Oh, and she rolls. It gets fire. It goes a runner to third. And the catcher doesn't challenge, so she threw the changeup. When she took the mustard off, it hit the dirt about 5 feet in front of the plate and bounced past the catcher. So a passed ball by the pitcher advances the runner down the third now.
And now if you're Easton, you can play small ball. Something to the right side, something in the outfield, scores a run.
Swing and a miss. So she did the right thing. She went after the batter and got the 4th K. 2 strikeouts in this inning now.
And again, this is what she needs. You know, runner on third, 1 out. Clearly in that situation, you're looking for a strikeout.
Cassidy Wills, left fielder for the Warriors, takes a cut at it for strike 1. So we get to see these pitchers tested early because both of them get into trouble and both of them starting to pitch their way out of it. Wind-up delivery. High fastball tipped away. 0-2 now to Wills. Runner on third. 2 outs. Top of the second inning. No score here at College Park.
And if you're Maine, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner on third base, she's looking for that put-away pitch right now. She doesn't want to go deep into the count or face the 8-hitter. She wants this now.
Blow some smoke right here. That's exactly what she does. Chop to the third baseman. Easy glove, easy out. And that's the end of the inning. The defense holds. And Sammy gets out of that jam, leaving 1 runner stranded at the end of 2.5 innings. No runs, 1 hit, and no errors. And Middletown will come to bat after this commercial message.
Frederick Sign and Banner, located on 6th Street in downtown Frederick, has years of experience providing customers with expert, personalized, and courteous service that is unsurpassed in the area. Frederick Sign and Banner for car and truck lettering, magnetic vehicle signs, innovative graphic signs and banners that you'll love. Call Frederick Sign and Banner today. That's 301-663-9122. Again, that's 301-663-9122. Frederick Sign and Banner, family owned and operated since 1969.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are coming to the bottom of the second inning where Middletown will come to plate. Leading off for Middletown will be Sydney Lamb, Sam Hockenberry, and Taylor Green. There's the throw down to second, so we are ready to go. Sydney Lamb stepping into the batter's box. Sydney, the designated player for Middletown. Infield way in. Swing and a miss. She tipped it a little bit.
And if you're Easton, the common assumption is that the bottom of your order is weak, but Middletown's bottom of the order is not weak at all, and they can do some damage.
Change up right across the plate for a called strike. 0-2 now to Lamb. Miles looking very strong from the mound. Fastball, swing and a miss. 3 pitches and 3 strikes. And the 4th K of the game for Savannah Miles.
Miles and Maine have both been spectacular. Miles has 3 strikeouts so far after facing 4 batters. Maine has 4 or 5.
High, popped up out of play and into the crowd. Sam Hockenberry, the center fielder, takes her first cut at it and fouls it away. The count's 0-1. 1 out, bottom of the second, no score. Middletown at bat. Change up high. 1-1 to Hawk.
One of the things that Miles and Middletown will try to look for, that Miles will try to do, is locate that changeup.
This one chopped up high, back over the screen, and out of play. 0-2 now to Hockenberry. 1 out, bottom of the second. Middletown's second bat. Hockenberry 8th in the rotation. Swings and a changeup, tips it, throw to first. They got her. So another strikeout. Hockenberry goes down swinging. That'll bring Taylor Green, the second baseman. She fouls one away into the Easton crowd. Taylor, the last batter in the rotation for Middletown, here in the bottom of the second inning with 2 out.
The biggest thing for Middletown as it goes into the game, they've had 5 straight strikeouts, so they are going to have to cut that off.
Called strike. 0-2 now.
And I'm sure if we ask Coach Toms, he doesn't mind the outs, but he would mind the strikeouts.
That one was inside. Ball 1. 1-2 now to Green.
Because let's face it, strikeouts are unproductive outs, and if you put the ball in play, we've seen you can put some pressure on Easton.
Oh, she gets her on the changeup. She goes out after it. Caught her guessing. They're having a lot of trouble with the velocity changes from this pitcher. So that's the 3rd strikeout. 3 up and 3 down. All of them strikeouts in this inning. Miles is just starting to get better and better at the end of each inning with 6 strikeouts so far in the game. So that'll move us around to the top of the 3rd inning with Easton coming to bat. Leading off in the Easton order, it's going to be Etsy, Hall, and Weems after this commercial break.
The Lodge Restaurant, located on Buckystown Pike in Frederick's Westview Village Shopping Center, is a deep breath of the fresh open outdoors. Farm to fork, locally sourced ingredients means less processed food, releasing the natural flavors that the Lodge Restaurant's rustic charm represents. Specialty burgers ranging from organic beef and local lamb to bison, venison, elk, wild boar, duck, and even kangaroo provide a unique dining experience. Lunch or dinner? Forget about those boring franchise restaurants and take a walk on the wild side at the Lodge Restaurant today.
All right, welcome back here. We are moving to the top of the 3rd inning. So far, no score in this game. A pitching duel, just as we expected. Both of these pitchers have thrown, get this, a combined 10 strikeouts in 2 innings. All right, batting first in the order. Chopped away, foul, out of play. Number 1, Peyton Etsy, the designated player for the Easton Lady Warriors, is at bat. Batting left-handed, by the way.
The real question you'll see, I think, and that is going to be the test of who wins this game, is which team breaks first. We saw Easton make some errors in the bottom of the first inning, but can Middletown capitalize on those errors?
Fastball hit to the second baseman. She gloves it, throw to first in time, and they get the leadoff batter on the ground out to first base.
And that's a good start for Maine, 2-pitch batter, because she had a 20-pitch inning last inning. And although that's not bad, you'd like to see a little bit more of a quick inning, and a 2-pitch batter is a great way to create one of those.
Alicia Hall in the box. The catcher takes a called strike, batting left-handed for the Easton Warriors. Maine taking her time, steps onto the rubber. Wind-up delivery. Change-up, ball 1. 1-1, the count. No score in this game here at the top of the third inning. Fastball right up the groove, called strike 2. 1-2 to Hall.
Middletown in a bunt defense right now. They have a second baseman, Taylor Green, playing about even with the pitcher's mound. Third baseman, Megan Brown's a hair in front of the bag.
Check swing, liner right to the shortstop, easy catch. Second out of the inning now. We go back to the top of the order now. And number 10, Sydney Chase, the center fielder, struck out in her last at bat, batting left-handed. Strike 1 called to Chase.
And it's interesting, Easton, their 9-hitter, Alicia Hall, the catcher, and the 1-hitter, Sydney Chase, both run out of the box, go looking for that slap-type hit.
And that's what she does. She fouls it away. In other words, what she's doing is she's actually running as she bats towards the front of the batter's box so that she'll have a couple of step lead to first base if she makes contact. I'm not too sure I like that strategy or that, shall we say, style, but I've seen it, especially I remember the first time I saw it. She foul-tipped it for strike 3 into the glove of the catcher. And that is the final out of the inning. So 3 up and 3 down. No runs, no hits, and no errors. We move to the bottom of the third inning. And Middletown will bring the bottom of their order to the bat. Kayla Pratt, Annie McLean, and Sammy Main will be coming up after this message.
MedOne Pharmacy is the largest locally owned and operated pharmacy in Frederick County. MedOne Pharmacy has 6 locations in Boonesboro, Brunswick, Emmitsburg, Middletown, Thurmont, and Woodbine to provide you with convenience, experience, service, tradition, and value. MedOne Pharmacy. Check out their website at MedOnePharmacy.com. That's MedOne Pharmacy.com. On Facebook, or for more information, call them at the location nearest you. MedOne Pharmacy. Stop by today.
That's right, MedOne Pharmacy with locations all over Frederick County. Hometown personal customer service, the kind you need when you need to get your prescription filled right away or get that very special over-the-counter prescription. All right, leadoff batter now, back to the top of the order. Kayla Pratt, the catcher for the Lady Knights, steps in. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Infield playing in. Outfield playing in as well. If Kayla makes contact, that one's going to go all the way to the fence because they're playing her real close. She chops the changeup, foul. That pitcher is giving them fits with her different fastball, changeup, screwball, curveball.
And the difference we've seen between this game and the Patuxent one, Middletown is taking defensive hacks in this one.
High up over the backstop. and right onto the radio tent. We knew it was coming.
I could see everyone looking up at us, but you know what? Thank goodness you brought the tent, because if not, one of us has a scrambled egg.
Yeah, we'd be catching the ball right now. 0-2 to the leadoff batter, Kayla Pratt. That's a roller all the way to the plate. That one slipped out of Miles' hand.
You know what? And with my hands, I doubt I would have been the one to catch it, so that would have been on you. And
I've caught a couple this year. 1-2 to Pratt. Fastball. She pops it into the outfield. Right center fielder takes it, steps in front of the right fielder in the gap, and makes the catch in the sun. That must be tough to see out there.
Yeah, that sun was giving both teams headaches when they both took infield, outfield, so that could be another factor. And for Middletown, you're just glad you put something in play, make their defense work for it.
1 out here in the bottom of the third inning. No score. Annie McLean at the plate. Shakes her head. She doesn't like that call. She got a strike. Called strike on that one.
And that one was a little bit on the outside corner, but this umpire has been pretty consistent.
High changeup, ball 1. 1-1 to McLean.
And that time we saw McLean watch the changeup, and although Miles has been effective, she has not located the changeup well.
Swing and a miss. Frustrated Middletown yet to put the ball in play. They loaded the bases on 2 errors and a walk in the first inning, so they have yet to get a base hit. Chopped away foul. McLean stays alive, and she looks a little angry would be the question. She wants it. She wants it.
And for Middletown, it's been a frustrating 2 and a third innings at the plate. They had the bases loaded in the first, but couldn't convert, and then had their side struck out in the second.
Whoa, she got a hold of that one, baby. It's gone. Say goodbye. A home run. Oh, man. Annie McLean wiped that one over the left field fence. About 260 feet. 260 feet. It hit the light pole.
And she's happy with that one. Miles left her a pitch up, and McLean, the earlier changeups had sped up her bat, and she saw it, caught it middle in, and that ball was crushed. This is the lead that Middletown needs.
So the first run of the game, a home run by Annie McLean. A 1 out, deep fly ball over the left center fence, right at the flagpole for the American flag. She salutes Memorial Day the right way.
Absolutely.
Swing and a miss to Sammy Main. She foul tips it back to the screen.
And if you're Middletown, that's exactly what you needed, because now they were tense at the plate before. Now if you look at Sammy Main, she's up there, she's loose, she's looking for a pitch to hit.
Change up. Ball 1, 1-1 to Main.
And before the home run by McLean, they weren't up at the plate taking aggressive hacks. They were being defensive, kind of getting handcuffed by the changeups. So that's exactly what you need.
Right up to line drive to the shortstop, and she makes the easy out. Well, you know what I noted, Ben? I said McLean was angry. She looked frustrated, and she looked like she was getting mad, and she wanted it. Well, was I right?
Yes. Put it this way, she definitely took out some anger on the baseball. The baseball probably thinks it did something wrong there.
Because she whacked that one into the parking lot.
And on the team, McLean hasn't always been one of the bigger power hitters. She can hit it, but she's definitely a lot of a line drive type hitter. So that was probably a little bit new for her.
Megan Brown at the plate fouls one away. Well, any good solid contact on these pitchers with their velocity, and it's going to go the distance.
Yeah. And that's one of the things about facing a faster pitcher. If you can put a bat on a fastball, it will fly.
Fouled away again. Brown moves the count to 0-2, behind in the count.
And also, we've seen Middletown fouling off pitches, staying in counts here. unlike they did in the first 2 innings, and they were definitely a lot more passive at the plate.
So the third baseman strikes out for the second time in a row on a changeup. She's way out in front of that one. Miles now has 7 strikeouts in just 3 full innings. That is very, very impressive. But not until at the end of 3 innings, Middletown gets 1 run on 1 hit with no errors, and we've got a 1-0 game. Middletown leading in the 2A state softball title championship. We'll be right back after this message.
Hi, I'm Tony Little.
And I'm Jane Moore. We love helping people find the perfect home.
From Adams County, Pennsylvania to Central Maryland. Whether you're selling a home, buying a home, or you need professional property management service, the Little Moore team can help.
Call us today at 301-662-2468. Who do you appreciate?
Tony Little
and Jane Moore, or visit our website at littlemore.com and get a little more.
Best realtors in Frederick County, Tony Little and Jane Moore. Year after year, they deliver for real estate teams. Call them today. So here we go. We're here in the top of the 4th inning now. This game moving fast because we've basically been looking at a pitcher's duel with 1 home run. So Middletown leading 1-0. Easton now coming to bat at the top of the 4th. Wants to put some runners on base. Number 14, Cameron Foster, the leadoff batter here in the top of the 4th. She struck out in her first at bat. She handcuff pops one, and Megan Brown slides on her knees into the dugout and makes the catch. Great defensive play in foul territory. Megan robs that batter.
That's a beautiful catch by Brown. The most important thing was she got a really good read on it, was able to come in and slide into the fence and make a nice catch. And, again, a good start for Middletown.
Which will bring Savannah Miles, the pitcher, to the plate. Savannah grounded out to second in her first at bat in the first inning. Coming up in the top of the 4th here. Savannah's ready. Pitcher-to-pitcher duel now here. Fastball low and inside. Ball 1. Maine taking her time. Winds up and delivers. Called strike right over the middle. 1-1. A lot of mustard on that one. Swing and a miss. 1-2 now to Savannah Miles, the pitcher. Sammy Main kicks some dirt around there outside of the mound circle. Steps inside, toes the rubber, looks in for the sign, and she's ready. High fastball, ball 2. Evens the count at 2 apiece with 1 out. Top of the 4th, and Middletown leading 1-0. Base hit up the middle into center field. A single for Savannah Miles as she gets it going.
And for Middletown, you know, you don't like giving up hits, but you're okay with that. It's a situation where they just, you know, you're up by 1. You can kind of relax and not play so uptight. So, you know, a single there, it won't bother Maine too much. And now I think we're going to have a courtesy runner.
That's right. Courtesy runner coming on the first. Number 7.
Lexi Kettering. Number 7, Lexi Kettering will courtesy run for Easton.
Lexi also with a pretty hair bow, glittery and shiny in her hair. All right, so during that substitution, Middletown huddled up at the mound. Sammy Main is ready. The batter steps into the box. Number 18, Montana Dye, the shortstop. for the Easton Warriors, struck out in her first at bat. Ball one.
And if you're Middletown, you would love a double play right here. You know, the courtesy runner may or may not have speed, we don't know, but even a ground ball, if it just gets you one, you take that.
Fastball low and inside. Runner on first, one out. Top of the fourth, 1-0, Middletown leading. Foul tip back to the screen. Evens the count at 1 apiece. Excuse me, check that, 2-1. The scoreboard malfunctioning. I'm looking at the count from the umpire. 2-1 now. To Montana Dye. She shows bunt. It rolls foul. Good patient play by catcher Kayla Pratt. Lets that backspin kick in. Down the first baseline about 3 feet just outside the batter's box. It trickles foul.
And Dye actually got under that one when she bunted it. She bunted it in the air a little bit, and from getting under it, it had enough backspin to land in fair and then roll back foul. And as you said, a good play by Kayla Pratt.
Evens the count at 2-2 with 1 out, runner on first. Low fastball. Full count now to Montana Dye. Sammy Main working that strike zone, moving her pitches around. Throwing hard. She steps onto the mound. Fastball. Ball 4, and the crowd doesn't like it because that glove just popped when the ball hit it.
And that looked to be in a good spot, too. It was a little bit on the inside, but from our perspective up here, and we are a little bit to the left of home plate, it looked like it caught some of the black. And now for Middletown, you're in a tough spot here because Caitlin Miles had a double her first time up, and a double would definitely score 1, if not 2 runs here.
Tying run on second base, go ahead run on first. Caitlin Miles, only one of 3 players in this game with a base hit so far. At the plate. She chops this one up in the air, out of play. Shortstop, third base, and left fielder all converge on it. No chance to make a play on it. The count moves to 0-2 now with runners on first and second. Easton threatening, 1 out in the top of the fourth. Miles steps into the batter's box. She's ready. Nice wide stance. Bent knees. She waggles that bat. Oh, a roller to the plate. Gets by. There goes the runners to second and third. And the bases are loaded now on an error, on a throwing error by the pitcher. Passed ball. Sammy Main's second pass ball of the game. Loads the bases with 1 out.
I think they called that a hit by pitch because after it hit the ground, it rolled up in and got Miles, and now you have the bases loaded with 1 out, and that's not what Middletown needs right now.
So 0-1 now to Slottenhop. Annie struck out in her first at bat in the second inning. But we're looking at a bases loaded situation here, and Middletown needs to turn the double to get out of this one. Chopped down to third base. She throws home, gets the force. So they make the right defensive decision by getting the lead runner. Can't turn 2, though. So Slottenhop gets on the fielder's choice. Miles is out at home on the force. Dye advances to third. and Caitlin Miles is at second. So there's a little pop-up into foul territory. The count moves to 0-1 with 2 out in the top of the fourth. Bases loaded, and Easton threatening the tie run at third base.
And just like it was big that Easton got out of the bases loaded no out situation, this would be huge for Middletown if they could get out of the bases loaded 1 out situation.
Cassidy Wills batting. Cassidy grounded out the third in her last at bat. Fastball called strike. Beautiful pitch right at the belt buckle. Nicks the inside of that strike zone for 0-2 to Wills.
And now Maine's up big 0-2, so there are a lot of directions she can go in this at-bat.
Fastball, swing and a miss. She struck her out to get out of that huge jam and preserve that 1-run lead. Wills goes down swinging on a high fastball. And the Middletown faithful breathed a huge sigh of relief, Ben.
Yeah, that's big for Middletown, because now you're halfway through the game. You're up 1-0. You've gotten out of 2 decent jams. You had a runner on second with 1 out and bases loaded with 1 out. And you have the ability to hit in the bottom of the fourth and extend this lead.
So at the end of 4.5 innings, we have no runs, 1 hit, and no errors. We move to the bottom of the fourth. Coming to the plate for Middletown, we have Emma Watt, Shannon Harmon, and Sydney Lamb to lead off for the Lady Knights after this commercial break.
It's always more fun to go out and eat at Bollinger's Restaurant because they go out of their way to make you feel right at home. At Bollinger's, they know the more you enjoy yourself, the more you'll feel like coming back. Bollinger's Restaurant. You'll get great tasting food and the kind of prices that make it easy for you to take the whole family out to eat. You'll find great food, friendly service, and a unique atmosphere. You'll enjoy the nice, quiet atmosphere that's so unlike many chain restaurants, where it's so loud it's difficult to carry on a conversation. Be sure to leave a little room for something sweet. Bollinger serves up an assortment of cakes and pies made fresh daily. Family dining in Thurmont, Maryland? That's Bollinger's Restaurant, right on the corner of Church Street and Woodside Avenue, just past the overpass in downtown Thurmont. And for all you churchgoers, Bollinger's is open Sundays from 7 to 3.
All right, welcome back. First batter, Emma Watt, the left fielder. She steps into the box. She pops 1 out up in the air to the shortstop, and there's the first out of the inning. That'll bring Sydney Lamb to the plate. She foul tips 1 away in her first swing at it. Bottom of the fourth, 1 out. Left-handed batter Harmon at the plate. Foul tips it away. 0-2 the count to Harmon. So far, only 1 hit in the game for Middletown, but it was a doozy.
It was.
Change up. She chops it up the middle, and it trickles into the outfield for a base hit. She checked her swing as she saw the velocity was gone and just met the ball perfectly.
Yeah, that was a little excuse me swing. Harmon 0-2 guessing that Miles would try to throw her something off speed. Took the off-speed pitch right up the middle for a base hit.
So that'll bring Sydney Lamb. She lines one in the left field. The left fielder just back makes the catch right at the fence. Beautiful catch. That left fielder had to get on her cycle to get to that one.
And Lamb missed a home run and breaking this game open by about 10 feet. She just got it on the inside of her bat a little bit. Couldn't get out in front of it. Hit it right down the line. And a good job by the left fielder, Cassidy Wills of Easton, getting on her horse and getting back there to make the play.
She was looking right into the sun on that one because you could see she was having trouble. Fastball low and inside. Ball 1 to Sam Hockenberry. Samantha, the center fielder, struck out in her last at bat in the second inning, is now here in the bottom of the fourth with Middletown leading 1-0. Swing and a miss. Way behind that pitch. Runner on first. 2 outs.
And for Middletown, if nothing else, you have a top of your order in the bottom of the 5th.
Fastball inside. Ball 2. 2-1 to Samantha.
I mean, surely they'd like to get a run from this situation, but you've moved the bottom out. You have a top coming up.
Another fastball, kind of a screwball on that one. On the inside corner, just out of the strike zone for ball 3. So 3-1 now to Hockenberry.
And Hockenberry's worked a good at bat here.
She foul tips it away just behind on that fastball. She can't get the bat around fast enough. Coach Toms encourages her from third base. Says, come on, Sammy, just meet the ball. Hockenberry steps in. Full count, runner on first. Everybody goes. Whoa, nice hot fastball. She hits it to the shortstop, and she's safe at first. The first baseman stepped off the bag as the runner hit. So an error to the first baseman puts Hockenberry on first.
And it almost looked there like the shortstop for Easton, Montana Dive. She got the ground ball clean, but then she hesitated just a hair, and Hockenberry has enough speed to beat it out.
And that'll bring number 7, Taylor Green, the second baseman, to the plate. She takes a called strike at the knees for 0-1. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. Middletown threatening here. Base hit up the middle. That'll bring one run around. The runner comes home. She's going to get caught in the hot box. She runs back. And she's out. That's it. So unfortunately, number 17, Shannon Harmon, got caught. They sent her home. I'm not sure why, because you knew.
Actually, at the last second, we were watching it. Charlie Toms, very late, threw up a hold sign, and Shannon Harmon ran right through it. And that's one of those things. Easton's made mistakes, and for Middletown, you know, it's okay because you're up by 1, but if you were to end up losing this game, that would be something that would come back to haunt Middletown, because then you have bases loaded with the top of your order up and 2 outs.
Absolutely. So Harmon gets caught in the squeeze and gets tagged out on the third base line between home plate and third base for the 3rd out of the inning to end the inning. So I guess it kind of evened out for Easton because they had that error and then they got it back on a bad running error. So that's what we call just a base running error by Middletown.
And that's something, you know, if you're Middletown, you don't like to see. But again, you're up by 1 after 4. You have a top of the order coming up in the bottom of the 5th. Hope Sammy Main can hold the fort here and then see what you can do in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Yeah, but it should have been bases loaded with 2 out.
And that will hurt Middletown if they come back to lose.
Yeah. Well, Middletown has not capitalized on 2 bases loaded innings now, and they have not been able to convert. But then that's what these pitchers are all about. They're about shutting it down and pitching out of jams. So, okay, here comes the leadoff batter for Easton. She chops one foul. Number 1, Peyton Etsy, the designated player for Easton. She grounded out to second base in her last at bat in the 3rd inning. She's in the box in the top of the 5th here. Middletown with a slim 1-run lead in this state 2A softball championship. Sammy Main is ready. Delivers. Fastball right down the middle. Called strike. 0-2 now to Etsy.
And for Easton, they've been threatening with the top of their order. You have 8-9-1 up. You would love to push across a run this inning and tie the game.
Base hit up the middle. Shortstop loses her footing and can't get over to it to glove it. So we're going to call that a base hit for the leadoff, Etsy. Peyton Etsy gets on a single. Single shot just to the left of the shortstop. That'll bring Alicia Hall to the plate. Hall batting left-handed with that running batting style.
And if you're Maine, you just got to take this easy. You've worked through jams before. A runner on first with no outs is not a big deal. Take it slow. Make Easton put the ball in play.
Hall batting left-handed. Swing and a miss. 1-1 now to Hall. Hall grounded out. Fly out to shortstop in her last at bat. High fastball. Ball 2. 2-1 now. No outs. Top of the 5th. Tie run on first. Go ahead run at the plate. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Evens the count at 2 apiece. Maine looks out at the scoreboard. Takes her glove off and makes a little equipment adjustment there. Wipes the sweat off her brow. She's ready. Back on the mound now. She winds and delivers. Foul tip back to the screen. Hall stays alive in the count. 2-2. No outs. Top of the 5th. Runner on first. Middletown leading 1-0.
For Middletown here, the best thing you could get is a ground ball. Because you don't want runners on with the top of the order up.
There's the ground ball. Hit the second. She tags the runner, throw to first. She turns the double. Beautiful double play by the second baseman. Just what you were saying, Ben.
And last game I was jinxing people. This time I have the old ESPN. I call it. Good job by Green. Etsy slowed up as she went to second. Green went for it, got the tag, and then went to first.
So now 2 outs. That'll go back to the top of the order to Sydney Chase. Number 10, center fielder batting left-handed. Struck out in her last 2 at-bats. Fastball just off the plate outside, ball 1. 1-0 to Chase.
And for Maine, that's exactly what you wanted, because an inning that was setting up like it could be an issue, leadoff runner on first, instead 2 outs, no one on.
A trickler down the third base line. It rolls foul.
And Chase, her hands are probably ringing right now because she smacked that one off the dead end of a bat, like the cap of it.
Yeah.
And it just cue-balled into foul territory. Again, the 9-1 hitters for Easton are just trying to slap the ball around. They're lefties. They can get a running start out of the box. Just trying to slap the ball around and put it in play.
Fastball called strike 2. Evens the count at 2 apiece with 2 out in the top of the 5th. Chase steps into the batter's box. Straightaway stance. Fastball called strike 3. Struck her out looking. Six strikeouts on the day for Sammy Maine. And at the end of 5.5 innings, with no runs, 1 hit, and no errors, the score is still Middletown 1 and Easton 0. And Middletown will come to the plate. Leadoff will be Taylor Green, who made that great double play from second base here to get her pitcher out of trouble.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that Maine has done so well this year. She can strike pitchers out. She can, she can strike hitters out, She can, do it herself, but she has a great defense behind her that can help her get outs, and she's learned over the course of a season that that's what she can do. So kudos to her.
Once again, I want to thank our game sponsors, Anytime Fitness of Thurmont, Bollinger's Restaurant, Furnace Bar and Grill, Littlemore Real Estate, Living Word Academy, Mountain Gate Restaurant, and Roddy Creek Automotive. Thanks for sponsoring today's 2A title game. Softball at its finest here on a beautiful day. The wind has completely died out. The flag is not moving. It is sunny. It's in the mid-70s, and we're ready. Chop foul. Number 9 takes off down the line.
And for Middletown, who was so close to an insurance run last inning, with the top of your up, you'd love to get one here because a 1-run lead in a state championship game is a little bit too close for everyone's comfort.
Called strike 1. 0-1 the count to Kayla Pratt. Pratt with a deep fly ball to the right center in her last at bat. Was caught for the out. She's 1 for 2 today. Walked in the first inning and then flied out in her second at bat. Here in the bottom of the 5th now, at the top of the order. She pulls that one deep into left field, foul, and out of play.
And good effort there by the Easton left fielder, Cassie Wills. She's already made one really nice running catch, and she almost ran that one down in foul territory.
Well, right at the fence, too.
Yeah, it was right. There's a bullpen down there, and it kind of juts out into play, and she almost got there in time.
1-2 now to Pratt. Change up. She gets her swinging. Throw down to first. She foul-tipped it, and she's out. So a strikeout for the leadoff batter. Kayla Pratt goes down swinging for the first out of the inning, which will bring Annie McLean, the star of this game so far, with a home run in her last at bat.
Yeah, and if this lead holds, that's going to be the big one.
She will see no fastballs during this bat. They just, the first pitch, a high changeup.
I was going to say, with one swing, McLean pretty much made it, so she won't see another fastball the whole day.
There's a fastball, just as I said that, and she foul-tipped it away. So Miles not afraid to come after her, after all.
And that might be something Easton will try to do, is start with changeup and then throw fastball to kind of get her thinking changeup.
1 out. High, pulled foul. Let's see if it's in play. No, way out of play into the bullpen. Thank you. Senior moment.
I'll tell you, though, this complex here, it's not every day we say it's fouled off into the bullpen.
Yeah.
This is a fantastic complex. They have Maryland Softball Stadium in College Park. Got nice press box, concession stand, bullpens.
High, looping changeup over top of the helmet of Annie McLean. Moves the count to 2-2 with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. Middletown on top with a slim 1-run lead. Fastball, swing and a miss, struck her out. So back-to-back batters go down swinging. And that brings pitcher Sammy Main to the plate. Sammy lined out to the shortstop in her last at bat. She rips this one deep into center field in the gap. It drops in for a base hit. She's going to get a 2-bagger on that one. So Annie with a stand-up double in the right center gap, right there at the scoreboard, keeps it alive for Middletown.
And again, today's been a day of almost for Middletown. Almost a home run there by Watt. Almost a home run there by Main. She missed it by about 15 feet, and now it's Brown's turn to drive her in.
Brown takes a called ball right across the inside belt, just out of the strike zone.
And
2 outs.
For Middletown, this run is paramount, because Main pitching with a 2-run lead will be tough to beat.
Ball 2 inside, 2-0 to Megan Brown. 2 outs, runner on second. Bottom of the 5th.
And truthfully, they might not pitch to Brown here.
Called strike. Fastball. Right at the numbers.
With Watt, the 5-hitter on deck, the Knights or the Warriors might be more content just to nibble with Brown at the plate and face Watt.
Chop to the shortstop. She bobbles it. Can't get a glove on it. And it's a base hit from Megan Brown. That moves. The runner stays on second because the ball came right at her. So Sammy Main stays on second, but Megan Brown gets the single. And that brings Emma Watt to the plate with runners on first and second and 2 out. Fastball inside, ball 1 to Emma Watt.
And this is the first time really all game we've seen Miles struggle with location and go deep in count. She's been pretty accurate.
Fastball right up the middle, called strike. 1-1 to Watt, who lined it to shortstop in her last at bat. Emma's ready. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Emma with that open stance, batting right-handed. Just a little underneath that. One and 2 to Watt. Fouls it away and into the crowd. Watt stays alive.
And if you're Watt, you're just looking to go out there and get ahead of one, try and put one in the gaps, you know.
Just poke it.
Yeah, the outfielders for Easton are playing pretty deep. If you hit one in the gap, it should be enough to score Maine, who has decent speed on second.
They're playing medium. Infield also medium. Watt steps in. We're ready. 1 and 2 the count. 2 outs. Bottom of the 5th. Whoa, well hit into left field. She over the head of the left fielder. She can't get a glove on it. 1 run scores. Here comes another one home. The throw to third and 2 runs score. So a 2 RBI double for Emma Watt. She gets it done.
And that is huge for Middletown. It's now a 3-run game. They've broken this open. That was exactly what you need. She put one in the gaps. The left fielder for Easton, Cassidy Wills, couldn't get on it.
She misjudged it.
Yes,
she should have made that play.
So for Middletown, that's exactly what you want.
And that brings Shannon Harmon to the plate now with a runner on second. Shannon fouls one away and into the crowd. Harmon got caught in a rundown on third base in her last at bat, but she got a single to get on base. Oh, she tips it to the second baseman, easy throw, and they get the out. But not until at the end of 5 complete innings, 2 runs on 3 hits and no errors. Middletown leading 3-0, and Easton will come to bat in the bottom of the 5th inning. Excuse me, the top of the 6th inning, my fault, after this commercial break.
Living Word Academy is a Christ-centered school serving grades K through 12, located in Blue Ridge Summit, Pennsylvania. Living Word is the first choice of parents seeking Christ-centered education that teaches students Christian values in preparation for life's challenges. Students at Living Word Academy enjoy a positive, Christ-centered environment that stimulates learning and creativity, allowing them to grow physically, mentally, and spiritually. The professional staff at Living Word Academy believe that the role of the parent is to educate their children. Living Word Academy will partner with you to form an educational team grounded in Christ that will lead your child down the paths of knowledge and education. For more information, call 717-794-5561. That's 717-794-5561. Living Word Academy in Blue Ridge Summit, Pennsylvania. Building your child's education on the solid foundations of Christ.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here live where Middletown has padded their lead with 2 runs here in the bottom of the 5th to take a 3-0 lead. Easton is at the plate. Leadoff batter Cameron Foster, swing and a miss. The right fielder takes a cut at a fastball outside from Sammy Main.
And for Easton, if they're going to mount a comeback charge, it has to start this inning. You don't want to be in the 7th having to score 3+ runs.
Swing and a miss, strike 2. Foster's last at bat. Brown robbed her as she chopped one foul, but Brown with a beautiful play from third base, sliding on her knees to make the catch for the fly out in foul territory. Swing and a miss. Sammy Main is smoking it.
You're dead right, Mike. And as we said, if you get Maine a lead, she will reward you. And that's exactly what Middletown's done. They've opened up a 3-run lead, and you can expect some rewards coming.
That'll bring the pitcher, Savannah Miles, to the plate. She chops one away. Miles with a good authoritative cut at it. Looking like she really wants to keep this thing alive.
And Miles is one of the 3 warriors with hits today, and this part of the lineup for Easton in general will be tough on Maine.
She pops this one into right field. The right fielder comes in and makes the catch for the second out of the inning. She started to go back, misjudged it, the right fielder. Then she realized the sun was straight in her face. She thought it was going deep over her head, didn't she?
She did. She started to drift back, and that's a good job by Alyssa Arney, the right fielder, to recognize that ball was short, come in, make the running catch, and in that sun, that there's never a routine catch.
So Montana Dye, the shortstop, steps to the plate. 0 for 2 on the day. She fouls one into the crowd. Crowd cheers for the spectator who made a beautiful catch and then threw it back over the screen to the catcher.
And we've seen a couple nice catches by fans here today. It's nice and tight here at Maryland Softball Stadium. Yeah. So a couple lazy pop-ups over the fence give a chance to for the fans to make a nice grab, and they have.
0-1 now to Dye. 2 outs. She fouls this one away to stay alive in the count. 3-0, Middletown leading here in the top of the 6th. Easton with only really 2 more at-bats. Actually, 1 1/3 because they've got 2 outs. Whoa, fastball caught her looking. Strike 3 to retire the side. Sammy Main does it. And everybody in the place, you could have heard a pin drop while they waited for the umpire to raise that right fist. Strike 3. So at the end of 6.5, no runs, no hits, 2 strikeouts, and Middletown will come to bat in the top of the 6th inning, leading off in the middle of their order. We'll be right back after this break.
Mountain Gate Restaurant has been a Thurmont tradition for over 25 years. Christian owned and operated, Mountain Gate Restaurant has one of the finest home-style buffets in the area, with mouth-watering delicacies, desserts, and much more. Mountain Gate Restaurant is not just a place to eat, it is an experience. Down-home country cooking in a friendly, relaxed atmosphere. Just off Route 15 in Thurmont, look for the big sign that says Mountain Gate Family Restaurant.
All right, welcome back. Our leadoff batter here, Sydney Lamb. Sydney with a flied out, deep hit, well hit ball to left center in her last at bat. She rifles this one up the third base line in fair territory, all the way out in the left field. Stand-up double to lead off for Sydney Lamb, and the crowd goes nuts.
And that's the start of another big inning for Middletown. Throughout the game, they've been challenging Miles every inning, getting runners on base, and now they've finally done what they need to do.
A stand-up double. She pulled that one. That was a hot ground ball right up the third baseline, just 2 feet inside the bag and into left field. And now we've got a pinch runner for Lamb. The designated player comes in to the cheers of the crowd for that leadoff double.
And you know what? It has been crazy loud here on the Middletown side. We're right under like a good portion of Middletown faithful, and this place has been rocking from first pitch.
Sam Hockenberry now in the batter's box. We're ready. Runner on second, no out. Sam shows bunt, tips it back to the screen. Sam trying to get the sack bunt to move the runner to third.
And now, going back to the change Middletown just made, you're up by 3. You can play aggressively. They'll bring in Alyssa Arney, the flex player, to pinch run, give them some speed.
She lays down a beautiful bunt. It dies right at the plate. The throw got her at first, but the runner goes to third. So it is a beautifully well-executed sacrifice bunt to move the runner into scoring position by Sam Hockenberry.
And that's a beautiful bunt by Hockenberry. Again, up by 3. You can play aggressive baseball, and that's exactly what Middletown needed to do. A good bunt by Hockenberry moves the runner over third for Taylor Green.
Taylor Green at the plate. She lines one into center field. It drops in for a base hit. It goes past the center fielder and rolls. Here's the throw in the second, not in time. So the run scores. The pinch runner comes in. Taylor Green with a stand-up double RBI. And they get a 4-run lead now for Middletown.
And now Easton's going to talk it over. If they want any chance to come back in the top of the 7th, they're going to have to stop the bleeding. Middletown has gotten 2 base hits this inning, paired out with a good sack bunt by Hockenberry, and they are starting to roll right now. And, you know, up here in the press box, you can hear it. The momentum has swung Middletown's way definitively.
Well, look at it this way. Middletown's only 3 outs away from a state championship. I mean, what do you think Maine's going to look like when she steps onto the mound knowing that?
If she was throwing BBs in the first inning, she'll be throwing even faster in the 7th inning because, you know, this is something she's worked for all 4 years.
Yeah. All right. Coming to the plate now, the top of the order for the Lady Knights, Kayla Pratt. Kayla struck out in her last at bat. And she wants to be a part of this. She is 1 for 3 on the day. Fastball. High and away. Ball 1 to Pratt.
And if you're Easton and Savannah Miles on the mound, you're looking for a strikeout here. You've got to get it now.
Shot to the shortstop. Oh, she makes a terrible mistake. She tries to get the runner, misses the tag. The runner gets back to second, and she can't make the throw to first. And so a mental error by the shortstop.
You know what? I don't know if that was intentional or not by Green to come off the bag and distract her, but Green got enough of a step off where she distracted the shortstop for Easton Montana Dye. Dye tried to put the tag on Green, couldn't do it, and Pratt was safe.
Annie McLean at the plate now. Takes a called strike 1 on a changeup with runners on first and second. 1 out. The bottom of the 6th. Middletown leading 4-0. Another changeup. Ball 1.
And this is where Middletown can break this game open. They have a 2-hitter McLean up. She's already squared up her pitcher really well for a home run. She can square up another.
Fastball at the knees. Ball 3. Excuse me, check that. Ball 2. 2-1 to Annie McLean now.
And for Easton, Savannah Miles not doing herself any favors getting behind in counts.
And she's behind now because that's the third ball. 3-1.
And for Easton, Savannah Miles has been good. When she strikes people out, she gets up and she can go to the changeup.
Fastball down the inside. Moves the count full at 3-2. 1 out. The runners will go on this one. Called strike 3. McLean goes down looking. I don't know why she didn't take a strike. That was the pitch that she hit the home run with.
Yeah, that one was right there, and McLean maybe looking for a changeup, didn't go for it.
Possibly. 2 outs now. That'll bring pitcher Sammy Main to the plate for what could potentially be the last bat of her career.
And she can help herself here. She's already in a 2-0 hole. It's a great hitter's count. She has runners on second and first. On the mound, she already has a 4-run lead. But trust me, she'll take as much insurance as she can get in a state championship game.
Batting .500 on the year. She chops this one high, deep into right field. Easy catch. And they make the out on Maine on the fly out to right field to end the inning. But not until the Middletown Knights pad their lead with 1 run on 3 hits and no errors. Middletown leading 4-0 as we come to the last at-bat. 3 outs away from a state title. They will be facing the middle of the order, Caitlin Miles, Annie Schlottenhout, and Cassidy Wills from Easton after this commercial break.
If you own a business, you know that the workday doesn't begin and end with the hours posted on your door. Hi, this is Business Development Officer Clark Briggs, and at Frederick County Bank, we understand that too. That's why we make business banking easy and accessible, anytime, anywhere. From BuzzPoints Merchant Reward and Loyalty to online banking, remote deposit capture to business courier service, Frederick County Bank, Frederick's true community bank, is open for business, anytime, anywhere. Contact me at 301-620-1400 and online at fcbmd.com. Member FDIC.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here at an exciting game for the Middletown Lady Knights. Maybe, perhaps, their first state title ever. Looming 3 outs away. Right in the meat of the Easton order, Sammy Main will have to bring it. But she can write the story here that will be something that they'll be talking about for the rest of their lives.
Absolutely. And you know what? I don't think Maine would want it any other way. She strives on facing challenges, and with the Easton top of the middle of the order up in the 7th, 3, 4, 5, she craves this. She is a pure gamer, and she loves being in the spotlight. And right now, this is all hers and Middletown's spotlight.
So Caitlin Miles, who was 2 for 2 on the day, steps into the batter's box. Maine rips one down the middle for a called strike. Miles, with a double in her first at-bat, hit pitch on her second at-bat. Batting right-handed. The third baseman is ready. Just a blooper up the middle. It's a base hit single for Miles. Off the inside of the bat, she just fought it off.
And that's okay for Easton. They're up by 4, and Middletown has shown they've had a really good infield. So for Middletown, they probably aren't worried by this.
Well, yeah, they've got a lot to give, and 4 runs is a pretty substantial lead here with a half an inning to go. But you want to get out of this, and you want to get out fast. And that leadoff for Easton, that leadoff single is huge.
Absolutely. And Easton trying to get ahead here, trying to get the runs any way they can. They'll bring in a pinch runner, number 4, Olivia Daly.
First baseman Annie Schlottenhoff at the plate now. Annie got on a fielder's choice in her last at-bat. She steps into the box with no outs. Top of the 7th inning, runner on first. Maine rips it, a one-hopper, ball 1. That one gets away from Sammy a bit.
And that's a good pick behind home plate by the catcher, Kayla Pratt. And for Maine, she's just got to settle down. Her offense has done the work. She has a good defense behind her. She's got a lot of ground to give.
Fastball, base hit! Right past the shortstop into left field. The runner turns and tries third, and they get her on the tag. She's out at third.
Beautiful throw from left field. Gets the runner who challenged.
And for Middletown, for Easton, that's a mistake you can't make. If you stay there, you have runners on second and first with no outs. Instead, the base runner, Daly, pinch runner, she's young, She's a junior, hasn't seen a lot of playing time. She gets a little bit too risky, tries to make something happen, and Watt puts a throw on the money to Brown at third base, and now Middletown is 2 outs away.
Fastball popped into the outfield. It's going to drop. It drops in for a base hit. The runner advances to third. So 1 out and runners on the corners now. Back-to-back base hits, singles.
And if you're Middletown, again, that's okay, and that's why that base running mistake is so important, because Easton may have had a run there if Daly doesn't get caught trying to sneak the single.
Peyton Etsy at the plate, number 1, batting left-handed, the designated player, Etsy. She grounded out to shortstop in her last at-bat. She is 0 for 2 on the day.
For Middletown, you'll try to turn 2 here and end this one.
High infield pop-up. The first baseman settles over and makes the catch in foul territory for the second out of the inning. Middletown is 1 out away from history. The last batter in the order, Alicia Hall, the catcher for the Lady Warriors, has it all riding on her with 2 outs and runners on the corners. Middletown leading. Oh, she drags it to second base. The throw to first. That's dropped, and the run scores. An easy throw to first, and the first baseman dropped it on the error to first base. A catching error allows the run to score. She threw it right into her glove. She probably should have underhand tossed it. She was only 5 feet away, and she just threw it overhand, and she couldn't get it.
Yeah, and for Middletown, that's not what you want to happen, but the biggest thing is patience, right? The tying run is only at the plate. And Easton really hasn't hit a lot of balls deep to the outfield today. So the chances of them hitting a home run aren't good. Relax, get yourself an out, and get out of this one and win a state championship game.
Wow, the nerves. Fastball high outside, ball 1.
And if you're Maine, just relax. Your defense, although that was a mistake there that Middletown, if something happens with one back, your defense is good. You can get the out.
Sydney Chase at the plate takes ball 2. 2-0 to Chase. 2 outs. Runners on first and second to force at any base. Chase trying to keep the hopes and dreams of the Lady Warriors alive. Called strike right up the middle. 2-1 now. Maine shakes her arms, trying to settle herself down a bit.
She has it left in the tank. She's been waiting for this moment.
Bunted foul, drag bunt foul, and out of play. The count moves to 2-2, so we've got 2-2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. And the crowd comes to its feet with runners on first and second. The leadoff, the top of the order at bat, Sydney Chase. Struck out in her last at bat. Here we go. Chop back to the pitcher. She gloves it. She got her. That's it. Middletown wins. Middletown wins. Middletown has won the 2A state championship softball title.
And how fitting an end. A ground ball back to Sammy Maine. What she started 4 years ago, she finishes on her own accord, and this has been a fairy tale ending for Middletown. The script could not have been written any better.
Amen to that, brother.
And they bring the table out to the pitcher's mound now where they will place the state championship trophies as both teams line up. Middletown on the third base line, Easton on the first, and they high-five at home plate, congratulating each other on a great season. Easton the runner-up, Middletown the state champ will bring the trophy home to put in the case at Middletown High School. Doesn't get any better than that.
And for Middletown, there were times during this season they struggled. The gut check came against Linganore, a 12-2 loss. But this just shows how much this meant to this team. A group of 8 seniors who put it all on the line. And for them, this is the vindication they've been wanting. Sammy Main, she had been talked up her whole career. People had said to her, you're this, you're that, stuff like you're going to win a state championship. But they'd fallen short last year. Losing in the regional finals, South Carroll 2-0 was a big sticking point for them. They felt like they got cut short. But this year, they didn't get cut short, and this is vindication for that group of seniors in Middletown as a whole.
All right, we've got a Keys game coming up in about 8 minutes, so we're going to be getting out of this fast. Let's do a post-game wrap-up from our scorecards. What do you see as the real key to this game? What do you think it was? When we talk about it years from now, what will we say?
It's a whole team thing. It's tough to pinpoint out one thing. Sammy Main on the mound. She wasn't striking out the hitters that Savannah Miles was, but she was letting her defense do the work, getting strikeouts when she needed them. The offense, the timely hitting from Watt, the 2-run double in left field, the single in the bottom of the 6th inning by Taylor Green to make it 4-0. Stuff like that. The heads-up play by Watt in the top of the 7th to recognize that the runner was trying to take third. All of this, it's just the little things. It was a true team effort from Middletown. And give credit to Easton. They've been here before. They know what to do. They battled hard. But for Sammy Main, for the seniors, this is the vindication they had wanted.
Hey, much. At the end of it all, Savannah Miles had 10 strikeouts, Sammy 8. So it was actually the pitching duel that we expected. But the Middletown bats were better. They got the runs. They technically did what they had to do to put the numbers on the board.
And that's what Middletown had tried for so hard this season, is the timely hitting, the small things. And they did the small things well today. And, when you look back on this 5-10 years from now, first state championship in program history, and it's an so special feeling because, again, as we said last year, they came close, lost in the regional final to South Carroll, and from talking to the players in the lead-up to the playoffs in general, this was a loss that stung. Against South Carroll, they were frustrated. They felt like they played the game to win, and they felt like if they won that South Carroll game, they could have won states. It didn't happen for them. But this is the vindication, and that's kind of been the catchphrase. If you talk to the girls, it's vindication, getting what we've earned, because they have. This group of seniors has been so prolific in how they've handled, just adversity, battling through it, putting their head down. This is the state championship they deserve.
Absolutely. Well, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations to all the Middletown faithful who throughout the season just hung in there and watched this team as they went through 21 victories, 21-1 on the season. They have captured the state 2A trophy.
Yeah, and for Middletown, credit to Easton. They came here. They played a heck of a ball game. And Easton, even in the end, they battled for 7 innings. It's so, Middletown's been on Easton's side. It's so frustrating because Easton came here, made a couple of small mistakes, and it hurt him in the end. But for Middletown, again, what can you say? This, from the beginning, was cute as the dream team. They struggled as sophomores under Coach Charlie Toms. As sophomores, you could see the slow progression. Last year, they came close, didn't quite get it, and then this year, they finally did it. So, kudos to Middletown.
Okay, our final for the season. Congratulations to Middletown. Thanks to Joe Masterman and the MPSSAA bunch for putting on another very, very successful high school softball tournament and allowing us to broadcast this game. Thanks to our staff back at Thurmont for helping us to put this game on the air, for you listening, and especially thanks to you, Ben Spector, for helping out these last 2 games with the color. You did a fabulous job.
Thank you. I mean, I've really enjoyed this. This has been fun for me to watch these games, as a Middletown fan, but to do it from this perspective has been extra special, so thank you for the opportunity.
All right, we're going to go back to our regular programming. We're just a few minutes away from the pregame for the Frederick Keys, who will be playing against Lynchburg tonight. We'll see you later. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. I know the people in Middletown will.
Absolutely.
There'll be a lot of barbecues tonight. All right, we'll see you.